So, you're in charge of taking the office photos. You're about to take that bomb selfie. The baby's smiling for the first time and it's up to you to capture this historic moment. Gotta nail that profile pic, we've all been there. The point is, it's portrait time. And there's one thing you should never mess up. When it comes to portraiture, there's lots of little tiny things that let down potentially really great smartphone portraits. If you want to know more about that, check out the video I did on simple mistakes photographers are making in portraiture. But if you forget everything else I've said thus far, one thing that you should remember is this. Make sure you nail the focus. Specifically, focus on the eyes. If your model, your subject, the person in front of your lens is looking into the camera and we can see their eyes in any shape or form, the one thing that you cannot afford to let out of focus is the eyes. Life comes from the eyes. A lot of emotion is conveyed through the eyes, and that's why you've got to make sure that the eyes are tack sharp. If the eyes look dead for any reason, you just lose a perfect portrait. Furthermore, do the best you can to get a glint in the eye, a spark in the eye, or what photographers like to call a catch light. That little reflection that you get from the light source. You typically see this on a lot of YouTube videos where people are using ring lights. You can actually see the light in the eyes. You definitely want to see a bit of the light reflected back out of the eyes. Once you've got the eyes tack sharp and you've got a lovely little reflection or glint in the upper part of the eye typically, you've nailed it, my friend. It's done. Job done. Here's some quick ways to make sure that you definitely get your catch light. Make sure that whatever the light source, it has direct access to your model's eye. So if your light is coming in from, say, a window, make sure there's no obstructions between the window and your model. If your light is coming from some other kind of setup light, make sure there's nothing in between that light and your model. You don't need to make them look directly into the light. In actual fact, please do not make them look into the sun or some strong light source because it's really bad for their eyes. It's fine for the light to maybe be a little bit higher so that it's angled and it's coming down onto the face. It's fine for the light to come in at an angle, but we don't want the people looking directly into the light source. Some photographers actually shoot from a little bit higher so that the subject or model, the person they're taking a photo of, is looking a little bit upwards if it's outside, if it's an outdoor shoot. You can definitely angle your model to face slightly closer towards the light. Some people are dead set against that approach. I'm not entirely sure why. Go figure. If you're using the natural sunlight shooting outdoors, definitely pull out your phone and use your phone's camera flash if you're close enough. And I know you might be thinking to yourself, my phone's camera flash? That's terrible. It normally makes people's faces wash out. And why would I use it in the sun where you could barely see it? That's exactly why you would use it in the sun, because you can barely see it. And where it will show up the most is in the eyes. You could use one of these. This is a reflector, and what you do is it bounces light into the face. Can you see the light coming into my face? Oh. And these come in different colors. You get silver, you get white, gold, all sorts of sizes. But more importantly, they come in a really tiny size that you can use, and these are great for reflecting light into the face, bouncing it off the sun or some other light source, and creating that all-important catch light. If, for whatever reason, you're struggling to get the eyes pin sharp whilst keeping the exposure exactly the way you want it, just opt for a third-party app which allows you to separate the focus from the exposure, and you should be able to get great results that way. Now that is going a bit far, and you probably don't need to do all that, but it helps for you to know that that option is out there. If you need a little bit extra just to make things pop, go into your favorite app after the fact and sharpen the eyes just a smidgen. What you don't want to do is try to sharpen eyes that are out of focus or have no catch light whatsoever. That, my friend, is how you get a decent catch light and a lovely portrait. Speaking of light, there's 1,000 things I'm dying to tell you about light, the different kinds of light, and how you can work with light. But I'll have to save that for another video. Hope you found that useful. If you did, subscribe and share this video. I am Visual Magpie on all social media. Hashtag Visual Magpie on Instagram if you have a top-notch smartphone photo that you would like featured. Remember, it's not how good you are, it's how great you're becoming. Until next time, take care.